We have multiple Pittsburgh Penguins updates as they made multiple moves right before the buzzer, beating the trade deadline here on Trade Deadline Friday. This is the fourth video of the day, so if you guys are still with me, thank you so much. We were on a live stream just a little bit ago, and a couple of crazy trades happened, including Cody Glass being traded away, and then the Penguins retaining some salary in order to get some players. We're going to break both of those deals down here on this episode of Penguins Digest. Rickard Rakell was one of the few guys that we thought was going to be traded that didn't get traded. Originally, it was reported that he was traded to the Carolina Hurricanes, but that was debunked because it was a fake tweet from a fake Twitter account. So we ended up getting super excited about Rakell being traded, and he's not going anywhere. But one guy that is going somewhere is Cody Glass, and we're going to break it down here in just a second. First, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel Penguins Digest with the latest Pittsburgh Penguins content, including multiple videos posted today with updates of all the Penguins trades. And this is the last of those videos here, with a couple hours before game time against the Vegas Golden Knights. I know most of you forgot we had a game today. I forgot as well because of all the news that has been circulating. First, let's talk about Cody Glass, because he was traded to the New Jersey Devils. And this was one of those players we weren't really expecting to be traded. But after the Tommy Novak trade, it freed up a lot of space in the Penguins forward lines. Tommy Novak will essentially take over what Cody Glass was doing, which is second-line winger, third-line center. So now that we have Tommy Novak, a better player than Cody Glass, we could afford to trade Glass away. The return is what is going to absolutely shock you, and I do not doubt that you will be shocked. The Penguins traded Cody Glass to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for a third-round pick and 2 minor league prospects. We gave up Glass and a prospect for 2 prospects and a third-round pick. It was actually a really good trade for the Penguins. Glass, a pending restricted free agent for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they were able to get a decent haul back for him. I'm very excited to show you guys a little bit about these prospects that we are getting back, get to know them a little bit, the guys that we're going to be getting in this deal. Glass is a 25-year-old first draft pick ever by the Vegas Golden Knights in franchise history, back in the first round, 6th overall in 2017. He was dealt to Nashville in the summer of 2021 and then was traded to Pittsburgh as a salary dump. The Penguins actually got draft picks, including a third-round pick, in exchange for taking Cody Glass off of Nashville's hands. So the Penguins continued to fleece the Predators over the last couple seasons. This has been a theme trading with the Nashville Predators. I mean, we obviously got Cody Glass, and now we're flipping him for even more assets. After getting assets for him, we got Philip Tomasino from the Nashville Predators, which was a really bargain trade for Kyle Dubas. And then we traded them Michael Bunting, got Tommy Novak and Luke Schenn, who we flipped for even more draft picks. So thank you to the Nashville Predators of being the Pittsburgh Penguins official farm system. It's been fun. But Cody Glass, another one of those players, getting us a heck of a return. So let's show you the trade one more time and break it down here. Cody Glass going to the New Jersey Devils. Again, a guy that we didn't expect to be traded, but it's another example of Kyle Dubas maximizing value on a pending restricted free agent. They were not planning on signing Cody Glass. Literally, Tommy Novak took his job. So it freed up the ability to trade a more expensive option in Cody Glass that we weren't 100% sold on. Devils needed a little bit of help. He's a great defensive center. He's going to help them out a little bit, and we're going to take their prospects off their hands as well as a third-round pick. But the most important part of this trade is understanding what prospects are we getting back. The Penguins are getting Chase Stillman, 21 years old, a former first-round pick, 29th overall in 2021. Stillman has 9 points in 46 games for AHL Utica this season and has yet to appear in the NHL. It's only his second pro season. Despite the lofty draft pedigree and genetics, his father, Corey, played over 1,000 NHL games and scored 727 points. The young Stillman still has a ways to go. So we bring Stillman in this trade. He's very much a prospect, a project, a guy that the Penguins can continue to develop in their great farm system that just gets deeper and deeper as Kyle Dubas continues to make these trades and get draft picks to even add to it further. So this is a really good trade for Pittsburgh. The other player they got is Graham. He is 20 years old, former 5th-round pick of the Devils in 2024, playing in Kelowna, WHL, with the Rockets this season. He is listed as a 6'3", 210-pound center, 35 points in 34 games in the juniors this year. Production is okay, but not amazing for an older player at that level. But you can't teach that kind of frame and size that Graham has, and it makes him a very intriguing option to the Penguins as a pro prospect. And then we get to the point where I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a recap. I mean, that trade was just one of many. Go back and check out the Anthony Beauvillier video that I made and the Luke Schenn video that I made and the reaction to the Bunting and Schenn trade that I made. And right here is the final reaction video of the day, because this final trade did happen right up at the buzzer. Cody Glass was traded during our live stream, and then right at the end of the live stream, when the stream cut off, I'm about to show you guys another trade that happened. But right there is where we leave off at that Cody Glass trade to New Jersey, and then we're going to pick it right back up with this next trade. Penguins retaining salary for players. Brandon Carlo was traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs from the Boston Bruins, who are very busy today, traded away Brad Marchand to the Florida Panthers, and the Penguins got players out of this deal. They were able to retain some of Carlo's salary in order to allow Kyle Dubas' old team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, to get Carlo. So we did them a little bit of a favor. Well, we scratch your back, you're going to scratch our back as well. We get a couple players back in that deal. So I'm very excited to announce that we were able to acquire a forward and a defenseman just by retaining salary in a 3-team trade. And this is another way that being a rebuilding team and being a seller pays off. If you're a rebuilding team, you can take on salary of rental players like this and get prospects, get draft picks, whatever it may be. Perfect example of the Penguins taking advantage of that situation and getting players that they really want. These are players that Kyle Dubas has had on his team before, players that Kyle Dubas drafted, and I'll show you guys that in just a second. Penguins appear to have ended the trade deadline, but this one final trade out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. I thought we were done. And here we are getting all the details just now, a couple hours later. They just released these details not even an hour ago. So that's the crazy part about the trade deadline. It's not over at 3 o'clock. It's over when they say it's over. It's over whenever everything is all said and done. And this trade right here blew me away because I wasn't expecting it. I was ready to be done. And look at this. You know, Carlo going to the Leafs, first-round pick, and Fraser Minton going to the NHL Bruins, Boston Bruins, and the Penguins, hashtag Let's Go Pens, getting Connor Timmins and Connor Dewar. So we get Timmins and Dewar from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I'm actually really excited about this move for this exact reason. Pittsburgh has been involved because Toronto needed to offload salary. Timmins, 26 years old, is a shutdown type defenseman. 2 goals, 8 points in 51 games this season, 6'3", 213 pounds, on the books for the rest of the season at $1.1 million, then a restricted free agent. But Dewar, also 26, he's a depth center who is good defensively and on the penalty kill. He is a pending RFA as well, but he makes $1.18 million. So the RFAs are guys that can be tendered, guys that can be retained by Kyle Dubas if he would like to. And the most important part that I failed to mention is at the very top here, the Penguins were in a situation where they had traded too many players away. So they needed players just to have a roster to play Vegas tonight. They forgot there was a game. I forgot there was a game. Well, so did they. So they needed to bring in a couple guys to have a full roster big enough to play the game. And that's crazy. I've never seen that happen before, but it did happen. And obviously the Penguins get an A- for this trade from ESPN because it was a free trade. All they had to do was retain money, and then they get a ton of talent on this team. A couple more players that Kyle Dubas loves. Guys that he drafted in Toronto. And let's just read the report. The Penguins were a third-party facilitator here, so the Leafs could dump enough salary to bring in Carlo. Naturally, the Leafs' former general manager was happy to pick up a couple of his own draftees, Timmins and Dewar. But still, it's a trade that benefits the Penguins. Pittsburgh, like Boston, is barreling towards a retool, and it'll move along quicker with somewhat established skaters like Timmins and Dewar as part of the process. There's a familiarity with their strengths and weaknesses, and the twosome should slide into more significant roles with the Penguins than they have in Toronto. And that's just Kyle Dubas saying, you know what, I know these guys. I drafted these guys. You guys have a little bit more of an idea what all these players that we've acquired today are after these just little brief recaps. And we'll have more content, of course, here on Penguins Digest. But I wanted to give you an idea. We did the Glass trade, got a couple guys I hadn't heard of, had to do a little bit of research, and then obviously his Toronto trade with a couple of, lesser known guys in order for them to get Carlos. So we acquired a lot of talent today, guys. It was draft picks and players alike. And Kyle Dubas was cooking. He was doing his thing. He did a great job. Got a couple of his former draftees. Really excited about them. We needed a full roster, so we had to do something. We replaced Cody Glass with a better player this trade season. We got Tommy Novak. Glass is going to New Jersey. We flipped Schenn, which was a big deal. We traded Beauvillier, who was a pending UFA. Still waiting to see what's going on with Matt Grzelcyk, who also a pending UFA. Maybe the Pens re-sign him. And then those 2 RFAs that we just got from Toronto, maybe we re-sign them as well, or at least tender their contracts. So thanks, guys, a lot for watching these videos today. If you watched all 4 videos and watch the live stream, guess what? That's 5. That's a gold star, and I appreciate you guys. You are the real MVPs, allowing us to make these videos here on Penguins Digest, continuing to support the channel. Keep the comments coming. I love you guys' comments. I will respond to every single comment. We can continue to talk about all the chaos that just ensued today, and we'll have more videos recapping all the action in its entirety coming up on this channel. Thanks so much. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next episode.